So for today's experiment, we're going to show off something called Archimedes' Principle, which is basically that an object submerged in fluid experiences a buoyant force that pushes it upward. And the magnitude of that force is equal to the weight of the fluid that was displaced by the object. To demonstrate this, I first gathered 100 milliliters of various fluids using a measuring cup. During this process, I learned that whoever designed these coffee mugs doesn't like science, so I ended up using a straw as a makeshift pipette. I also learned that I'm basically out of rum, but that's okay. Shh, it's okay. I'm going to take this instead. Hey, there's an ant! He's after my Nobel Peace Prize! Hey! Also, 100 milliliters of whiskey is a lot, actually. Add it to the glass. Vodka too. What are you looking at? So the purpose of this experiment is to demonstrate the fact that ice cubes will float when they are less dense than the liquid they are placed in. But if they're more dense than the liquid, then they'll sink instead. Now most people know that dense objects will sink in water. What you might not know is that this downward acceleration is due to an imbalance in the forces acting on the object. To determine how quickly the ice cube sinks or floats, we need to calculate both the gravitational force and the buoyant force acting on the ice cube. Both are pretty simple. The gravitational force is just the weight of the ice. So that would be the gravitational constant, 9.8, times the volume, times the density of the ice cube. I was thinking I was going to have to measure each ice cube individually, but somehow my freezer makes ice cubes that are exactly 25 milliliters in volume every single time. The buoyant force is exactly the same, except we use the density of the fluid. Finally, to find the acceleration, we find the difference between the two forces, and then we divide by the mass of the ice cube. So it floats in water. But it'll sink in... Oh my god. It's gonna float in every liquid I've collected here. This is the worst experiment ever conducted. Wait. So, the Archimedes thing, that should apply to other fluids too, right? So that should mean that I can stack fluids on top of each other and still demonstrate. Oh my god, I'm a genius. I'm the smartest man who's ever lived. What? Okay, so I add the milk. And then I'm going to use the pipette thing. I'm going to put the coffee on top of the milk and it should float. It should float because of Archimedes. Look at that. Look at it, it's beautiful. But no, I can do better. I mix it up. Then I add the vodka on top. That should float too. Look at that. I add the ice, and it floats. It's beautiful. The experiment is a success. It's a success. I did it. I made a delicious cocktail. Experiment.